I think the more sincere our spiritual interest is, the more we are really ready and willing to let relationships show us where we're unclear. Because boy, does it do a good job of that. Over and over and over and over and over. And if we want to really be awake, that's part of what we want. We want to see. We're no longer fighting against it or denying it or being angry with others or ourselves about it. We want to see. We want to wake up in all of us. And it may not be a complete path in and of itself, but it is part of any spiritual path, is the path of relationship. Its challenges and its beauty are both, I think, really necessary.
That wakefulness itself seeks a clear avenue of expression, and it almost feels like it clears the way through conditioned patterns that are out of alignment or untrue, and it has this liberating process that it seems to take in order to refine our human expression, to reflect that expression of truth even more clearly. So relationship is a way that can show up what's unclear, and it's also this tremendous arena to express our illumination.
Yeah, and our love and our joy and our celebration. There's that side of relationship that's hopefully what most of it is that really the positive fruits of relationship. I think that spiritual realization makes relationship much more meaningful, much more enjoyable, more celebration and less hard work. There's something I want to also mention here that I think is quite important, which is that when we think of in terms of relationship as a spiritual path or as part of any spiritual path, to me it's really important to understand that that doesn't mean that your partner, your friend, even your spiritual teacher, or anybody for that matter, is responsible for your spirituality. It's not part of their burden to help you wake up, to make you wake up, to take responsibility for something that you should be taking responsibility with. In other words, it is easy to go into the very idea of relationship as a spiritual path with a sort of idealized idea of what that is, and maybe even a kind of a list of projections of what you expect the other person, how you expect them to participate. And I've seen that can be really problematic for people when they get an idealized version of this, or they start thinking it's somebody else's job or responsibility to, help them progress along the path. That may happen. But I think part of an enlightened view about all this is realizing that although your partner, your friend, your teacher, whoever you're in relationship with, sharing your spiritual life with, although they're a participant, and at times a very meaningful and important participant, that they are not responsible for your life, your spiritual life or otherwise. That we take full responsibility, each of us, for our lives, for our spiritual lives, for our relationship lives. Because if we don't take full responsibility, then we go into the idea of spiritual relationship as a spiritual path with a host of expectations that actually often get in the way of spiritual development and human development. So again, to be really sincere, to realize that this is our responsibility, and strangely, the more we take our own responsibility for our own spirituality, for our own life, and we don't project that into our expectations on the other, the strange thing is it seems to be more and more and more enriching. They do become a more powerful participant in our spiritual lives if we don't make them responsible for doing so. Do you know? It's kind of strange. And if you make the other person responsible for your own spiritual life, then it's like they don't really have much impact, other than the whole idea of creating a lot of chaos. So I think a sincerity is really, really important, and taking personal responsibility for your own spirituality, then the relationship can really serve, I think, in a very, very, very deep and often unexpectedly profound way.
As I'm listening, what comes to me is primarily it's the relationship with oneself that is the real spiritual path, and then the discovery of what that self is, and that then can be communicated as well through relating with others.
Yeah. The other is you and you are them. Yeah, that always goes back to that fundamental realization is so, so, so important. And so I would hope that as this program unfolds for people, our intention is to really share some things that we've learned through our own lives, that we've learned through our marriage, that we've learned through working with thousands and thousands and thousands of people over the years. Some very practical foundations and intentions that can be applied and really utilized in one's life that can maybe help to make the arena of relationship more fulfilling, more conducive to our own spiritual growth, and also to help each person on a personal level with just some avenues of inquiry and exploration that we hope will be really, really helpful.
So add my wishes to support you in that.